ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्ययसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We are on the second verse in the third chapter. So let us look at that verse and also the Bhashya. व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्. Arjuna's confusion is very clear. He says, if karma binds and if knowledge frees, why are you asking me to do karma? Because one of them I should follow properly. Whatever I know, whatever I have to understand, you tell me what I have to do, and I am happy to do that. Don't tell all these choices to whom? To the one who doesn't know how to make the choices. That is the idea. Choices can be confusing if one doesn't know what to choose. Why? Because one is confused. I am already confused to begin with, and on top of that, for this confused person, for this confused being, you are giving me more choices. So already the person has difficulty making choices. Already the person has to make difficulty making the correct choice. And then here you are giving me choices. Actually, there is no choice. It's not like either samosa or something else, just like that. Kachoris, both are fried things with some filling. One is round and one is triangular in shape. So either of them will lead you to satisfaction. Only for a few minutes, but nonetheless, either of them will lead you to satisfaction. So Arjuna, choose one. That is not being said by Bhagavan. So Bhagavan somehow seems to be talking in riddles, talking in tongues, so to speak. So, and in fact, Bhagavan is not saying that both are the same. Both are the same. It's not like Karma Yoga is not like Kachori and Jnana Yoga is like samosa. It's not like that. In fact, one is an appetizer and the other one is fulfilling. Without Karma Yoga, you cannot have Atma Jnanam. Karma Yoga is like going to high school and getting a diploma, and Jnana Yoga is like going to college. So without the first, the second cannot be accomplished. But Arjuna has things in the way internally to be able to understand this basic thing. Why? Because he wants to be free of karma right now. In fact, yesterday. Yesterday he wants to be free of karma. What kind of karma? Terrible karma. That's why he asks in the first verse, Tat kim karmani ghore karmani mam niyojayasi. Then you are telling karma binds, knowledge frees, but you are asking me to go to this and do this terrible karma. It's like a diabetic being told, sugar is very injurious to health, therefore have this laddu. This doesn't make any sense at all. This doesn't make any sense. There is no therefore there. It's not a, it's a very, it's a therefore that is fraught with wrong, what's its name? It's fraught with wrong kind of understanding. It's not a therefore. Where is the therefore there? There is no therefore. And so, therefore, this is not, this is not making any sense to Arjuna. Arjuna feels it's all mixed up because he lacks the place, the place from which he is making these so-called choices. He lacks the viveka because the viveka is veiled by raga. Raga for the knowledge, a very wonderful raga to study. I want to study this. I really want to be free. And Bhagavan is saying that if I study this, I will be free. Free of what? Free of all kinds of samsara. I want to be free of samsara. I want to be not be assailed by Duryodhana and the likes of such people for the rest of my life. I don't want to be affected by all this. So therefore I want to be free. Then what? So, but somehow I feel like he is telling me to go fight. I don't want to fight. I want the knowledge. So you see his ability to make this distinction between the karma yoga as a necessary step for Atma Jnanam is compromised by his desire to flee the war and take to a life of knowledge, for which, as Bhagavan will tell him in so many words, he is not equipped. He is not equipped because karma yoga has not been done. Oh, but he was doing karma for so long. Yes, karma means action. Action he was doing, yes, but not action overtly done for maturity, inner maturity, self-growth, all this he hasn't done. So without getting a high school degree, diploma, you cannot just go into college. Now, what if I am a child prodigy? Well, you are not. So this is not an exception. This is part of the rule. Arjuna is not a karma yoga graduate from previous life or something like that. Some kind of an exception is always talked about. Ramana Maharshi is brought into the picture. Certain other gurus who just needed to hear Tattvamasi in passing once they suddenly gained this knowledge. That's because they had done the homework in the last life, we say. But here that does not apply to Arjuna. Why not? Well, because seeing his situation, seeing how he really wants to flee what he has to do, that itself shows that he is not ready for Jnana Yoga. He is not ready for giving up his whole life and then following Atma Jnanam. He is not ready for that. And the Lord has already ascertained that, and therefore gives the whole thing and says in the second chapter, of course, gives the vision and the way of life to gain the vision. If the vision is not understood, the way of life to gain the vision must be assimilated so that the vision is easily understood and lived. So therefore, the Arjuna, being confused, says, Vyamishrena Vakyena, by words that seem to be mixed up. Buddhim mohayasi iva me. Oh Lord Krishna, you are as though confusing me. Mohayasi iva. We saw the word iva last time. Iva means as though. And that's how Arjuna gets away from being a person without Shraddha, because he says as though confusing. I am finding the words as though confusing, and Adi Shankara in his Bhashya will make that very clear. So then he says, unto me, who has appears to have lost the infrastructure to make the choices, because being assailed by raga dvesha, unto me who has lost the infrastructure to make the choices. Ekam vada nishchitya. You decide. What is it that I am qualified for? What is it that I should do? What is it that I should refrain from? You decide and tell me. Because what is it that I want? Shreyas. I don't want preyas. Preyas means the small things in the world. I don't want that. I want Shreyas alone. Atmajnanam is the meaning of the word Shreyas. Where in the Kathopanishad, we have seen that as well. Shreyascha preyascha manushyam etaha. Both Shreyas and preyas approach the person. Tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. The person of discrimination, the dhira, the viveki, chooses one after having examined both closely. Then the dhira chooses Shreyas over preyas. Shreyaha abhipreyaso vrinite, chooses Shreyas over preyas after seeing that there is nothing in the world of action and its results other than being tied to action result all the time. Mandaha yogakshemat preyo vrinite. The manda, the one who does not have the capacity to make the correct choice, chooses preyas by default, by error. What is this error? The error is not knowing priorities, not having what is called Purushartha Nishchaya. What is Purushartha Nishchaya? Purushartha Nishchaya means the ability to make the correct choices, not having that. Not having the ability to make the correct choices, not having the wherewithal. Why? Because the intellect is manda. Manda means it's not a, what is that called? It's not a judgment. Manda here means the ability to make the choice is compromised in whom that one is called manda. The ability to make the proper choices has been compromised. By what? By the eclipse of raga dvesha. The raga dvesha are creating a certain kind of atmosphere in the head. Internal atmosphere in the head is not clear. There is fog, thick fog. There is rain, sorrow, and there is confusion, fog. And so, therefore, the inner climate is not suitable to making this choice. Therefore, I need your help, because what I want is Shreyas. I do want Shreyas. I am a Shreyorthi. In fact, when I became your student also, what did I say? Give me Shreyas. Yat Shreyasyat Nishchitam Bruhi Tat me. I told you that. So here also I want what? Shreyas only I want. I don't want prayers. I want Shreyas, but I am unable to choose because my choosing abilities have become compromised. So therefore, ekam vada nishchitya. What is the road for prayers? The Shreyas, sorry. What is the road for Shreyas? Shreyo marga. The road for Shreyas. Please tell me. Please unfold that to me, because I am totally dependent upon you for this. I don't have the wherewithal to choose. So you please tell me what to do, and I'm happy to do this. Bhashya. Then Bhashya, let's see. Vyamishrena iva. So Vyamishrena iva yadyapi vivikta abhidhayi bhagavan tathapi mama manda buddhehe vyamishram iva bhagavad vakyam pratibhati. Pratibhati shines. At least something is shining in the buddhi, which is compromised according to him. But how is it shining? It is shining Vyamishram iva Bhagavad Vakyam pratibhati. What is shining? Bhagavad Vakyam. The words of Bhagavan are shining. How are they shining? Vyamishram iva. Vyamishram means mixing up. V plus A plus Mishram. So Mishrena means that which causes delusion, mixed up. Mohakena Vyamishrena iva. Iva means as though. As though. So Vyamishrena iva. So bhati, pratibhati. The words of the Lord shine in my mind. Adi Shankara is expanding and unfolding what Arjuna is meaning here. What are Arjuna's intentions in writing this, in saying this? And so, first we have to say, pratibhati, shines. What pratibhati? Bhagavad Vakyam pratibhati. The words of the Lord shine. How do they shine? Vyamishram iva, as though confusing. The words of the Lord, as though confusing, appear, shine. Where do they shine? Mama manda buddhehe, in my dull intellect. Dull doesn't mean that he is debasing himself or judging himself. Dull means, what does it mean? The buddhi has temporarily been stunned by the raga for leaving the war and the dvesha for the war, and then the buddhi is in a place of not making the proper decisions. So therefore, mama manda buddhehe, for me who is right now enjoying the dullness of the intellect, suffering from the dullness of the intellect, then I'm not able to, this is how the words shine. Even though it's not Bhagavan's fault, he says, Yadyapi, although Viviktabhidhayi Bhagavan. Vivikta, clear. Abhidhayin, the one who gives. Abhi plus da means a clear orator, clear communicator. So Bhagavan gives whatever he has to give clearly. And what is Bhagavan giving? Knowledge. So therefore, Bhagavan is speaking. So here Abhidha means the one who is speaking clearly. Vivikta, clear. So the one who is speaking without any doubt, without any error, without any vagueness, the knowledge is being given. Tathapi, although it is like this, mama manda buddhehe, in my dull buddhi, dulled by my own confusion with regard to the means and the ends, Bhagavad Vakyam Vyamishram iva pratibhati. The words of the Lord appear to shine in a distorted way, in a way that is not at all intended by Bhagavan. The words are shining. And so this is the purport of this first one. Tena mama buddhim mohayasi iva. Tena, because of that, therefore, and tena means, tena can also go with vakyena. Vyamishreneva vakyena, it said. So tena vakyena, by these kinds of sentences, where in the second chapter, and they are all made into singular one. So tena vakyena, by such a sentence, mama buddhim mohayasi iva. You are as though confusing me. And here it's not a complaint. It's not a complaint. Then, so it's not a complaint. Why? Because Adi Shankara continues. I lost the Bhashya somewhere. Hang on. Here it is. So it's not a complaint. Mama buddhi. So mama buddhim mohayasi iva. As though you are deluding the intellect. And it's not a complaint. Why? Because this is what I'm not understanding. He shows he's able to pinpoint his delusion. So therefore, Manda Buddhi, even though he's calling himself Manda Buddhi, he's far from Manda Buddhi. He's able to pinpoint the delusion very, very clearly. And thanks to Adi Shankara, this is very, very well unfolded. Mama Buddhi Vyamoha Apanaya hi Pravrittaha Tvam. Who are you? You are Pravrittaha, ready. Pravrittaha, ready, attempting. You are readily attempting. Pravrittaha means on the way. You are already well on your way. For what? Mama Buddhi Vyamoha Apanaya. Apanaya, in order to remove. In order to remove what? Vyamoham. Vyamoham, V plus A plus moham, double, triple delusion, total confusion in my mind. You are the one that is ready to remove. You are the one that has set off to remove. So, you are the one that has you are set to remove. You are committed, pravrittaha, committed. You are committed to remove. That's what you have been trying for from the beginning when I asked you the question, what is it that I should do? This is what your intentions are. So you are wanting to remove. Where are we? Yeah, okay. Second line here. Yeah. So, mama buddhi vyamoha apanaya hi pravrittahatvam. He, because I know you are wanting the opposite of what is happening. What is happening? I feel deluded. I feel all mixed up. But what is your intention? To drive away that very delusion is your intention. To drive away the delusion is your intention. Drive away from where? Mama buddhi, mama buddhehe, vyamoham apanaya. So the confusion that is residing in my buddhi, in order to remove that is your intention. Then, tvam katham tu, whereas katham mohayasi ato bravimi buddhim mohayasi ivame. So then, while endeavoring to drive off my delusion, how come you are deluding me all the more? I have no problem with your commitment. You want to drive away my delusion. I know that. But in the process, what is happening is that I am getting more and more confused. This is a very beautiful thing here that Adi Shankara is making Arjuna's mindset available to us. Because something which is, they see the Upanishad and the Bhagavad Gita are not impersonal in their teaching. They speak to the heart, and they must pierce the heart. They must speak to the heart. Of the two, the Upanishad and the Bhagavad Gita, they have a similar, of the two, the Gita could be taken as even more personal. Even though they have a similar approach. Even in the Upanishad, we have, what is that called? Akhyayika. A certain kind of little story is told. Nachiketa goes to Lord Yama and is taught like this. Sage Ashvalayana goes to Prajapati, Brihaspati, like this. There are stories, and those in the Kaivalya Upanishad. And so, like this, there is a it is made somehow like an ideal type situation where I can look at the story and then assimilate whatever I need to assimilate for myself. This is the intention. In the Upanishad, there are many different topics. There is Srishti Krama. How did the Srishti come into being? There is also how this Brahman can be you yourself. All these are given. And then in the attempt to follow the terminologies and the methodologies, what are the methodologies? Karana Karya Prakriya, cause effect methodology, Avasthatraya Prakriya, sleeping, waking and dreaming methodology. Sleeper is me, waker is me, dreamer is me. I am none of the three. I am that inhabits all the three without becoming any one of them. So all these are methodologies. So in the process to assimilate the terminologies and the methodologies for a serious student, there is in a way that the Upanishad becomes a little less personal. But the Bhagavad Gita also teaches the same thing. Same methodologies will come, same terminologies will come, everything will come when? In the starting from the 6th or the 7th chapter. When we get into Tat Pada Vichara, when we get into the, Srishti Prakarana will also come, everything will come. So when we get into Tatpada Vichara, when we get into an analysis of what Ishvara is, it will come. The first 6 chapters are extremely personal because we are studying the Tvampada. We are studying the unfolding of the Tvampada, and then for a serious seeker, what happens? There is some kind of a identification with Arjuna, with everything that is being taught. And that has a twofold, two-pronged effect. One is that the knowledge can come very seamlessly, easily, effortlessly, but there could also be, as the knowledge is being ingested, all the things that are here, which like Arjuna, they rub in the wrong way. All that is given very, very clearly. What is the source of Arjuna's delusion, etc. And then what happens is that sometimes one feels that the Bhagavad Gita may be targeting me. It's not targeting you. Neither is it targeting Arjuna. It's not targeting anybody. And so sometimes people feel intimidated or uncomfortable studying the Bhagavad Gita, especially the first few chapters, because it is too personal. It's almost like when Arjuna is declaring himself to be Manda Buddhi, it feels like, oh, this must be me. This is not Arjuna, this must be me. I also don't have the wherewithal to do this, to do this vichara. I am an idiot. And why am I doing this? All these thoughts sometimes come, feelings come, difficulties come, and feeling targeted, feeling criticized. Neither the Bhagavad Gita nor Lord Krishna, no one is targeting. This is just a way to understand that Arjuna's mindset is universal in a way. Everybody has certain areas of confusion. And when those certain areas of confusion are pointed out, this is the time to love those areas up without self-judgment and see what is being taught and then go forward, because that is how Arjuna gained the knowledge. If Arjuna was to sit down in a corner and say, okay, I'm not fit for Atmajnanam and I'm just going to pack it up, then there would have been no Bhagavad Gita for us. And so therefore, the thing is, so here this is what is, he pinpoints his own delusion and he says that although what is your intention? To drive out the delusion. That is what your intention is. But even though it is your effort to drive out the delusion, I am being confused ever more. What is this? What is this, And so then further he says, Tvam tu भिन्नकर्तृकयोः ज्ञानकर्मणोः एकपुरुष अनुष्ठान असम्भवं यदि मन्यसे तत्र एवं सति तयोः एकबुद्धिं कर्म वा इदम् अर्जुनस्य योग्यं बुद्धि शक्ति अवस्थान अनुरूपम बुद्धि शक्ति अवस्था अनुरूपम इति निश्चित्य वद ब्रूहि त्वं तु. Whereas what are you doing? If this is your intention, Arjuna continues. I mean, according to Adi Shankara's imagination. Adi Shankara imagines that Arjuna's intention is this. Tvam tu, whereas if you consider, if you manyase, yadi manyase, if you consider, yadi manyase, tvam tu yadi manyase, let us take it like this, tvam tu yadi manyase, if you consider that jnana karmanoho of knowledge and action, of knowledge and action, the path of knowledge, the path of action, both of them were given in the second chapter. Out of that, if you consider that it is for two distinct type of people, if this is what you consider, what are you considering? That Jnana Yoga, a life that is fully committed to knowledge without any other action. This is Jnana Yoga. All you do is sit and study for a length of time until the haziness is totally dispelled. All you do is sit and study. You just check into an ashram and then what? Become an inmate. Sad choice of words, but nonetheless, you become an inmate of a zenitentiary, and then what? And then you sit and study. Food is provided, basic things, whatever you need are provided, everything is given, and you sit and you apply yourself to, without any distractions, sit and study until you say, enough, I have enough clarity. So that is one, so to speak, path that will be outlined in the third verse. So I'm not going to go in it too much, and then because we'll be studying it. And the other path is you do pursue Atmajnanam. Atmajnanam is not optional. You do pursue that along with other pursuits. You subserve the other pursuits so that you gain you gain the maturity, so that your pursuits become avenues for gaining emotional maturity. How can the pursuits become avenues for gaining emotional maturity? Because I have stopped being a karma phala holic. I am not focused on the results of action. I use the action for self-growth rather than the results of action. So I'm not focused on the results of action. I use the action as an offering to Ishvara, and then whatever comes out of it, I take it as prasada, and then this gives me self-growth. Self-growth means the ability to qualify more and more to assimilate this knowledge. At the same time, I'm pursuing the knowledge and I'm getting the eligibility for the knowledge. Both are happening, and this is Karma Yoga. Now, can I say, this is what the Bhashya is going to say. Can I say that I will do a little bit of Karma Yoga and little bit of Jnanam? No, not possible. The pursuit of Jnana Yoga means I have burnt the bridges and burnt the boats, whatever it is. I have no other recourse, and I am taking to this life. I have jumped, I have made a big leap like Hanumanji to leap to Sri Lanka. I have made a quantum leap. And then I'm saying, come what may, I am just going to pursue the knowledge exclusively for without any other roles. I'm going to just pursue this knowledge, come what may. But I don't do that. And so therefore, but I can't do that. Not that I don't do that, I can't do that. So therefore what? I resort to karma yoga. Now supposing somebody said, I'll do a little bit of karma yoga and little bit of jnana yoga, it is not possible. Why is it not possible? And that is going to be said in the Bhashya. So, Purusha Anusthana Asambhavat. Eka Purushena, by one person. Anusthana, the following. Anuplastha, to remain in, according to however it should be followed. To remain either in jnana, in the exclusive pursuit of knowledge, or to remain as a karma yogi, as a person who is looking forward to slowly growing while fulfilling the desires that one has ethically, and while keeping Ishvara front and center. So both of those cannot be accomplished. Anushtana, accomplishment, engagement, asambhavat, because it is not possible by one person to follow both these lifestyles. Karma yoga is a lifestyle, jnana yoga is a lifestyle. Jnanam is not a lifestyle. Jnanam is common to both the lifestyles. It is just how much exposure to jnanam, that is one difference in both the lifestyles. In the jnana lifestyle, jnana yoga lifestyle, you have an exclusive exposure to jnanam and very little karma, enough to just keep the body mind going. And then in the karma yoga lifestyle, there is the exposure to jnanam is contingent upon fulfillment of all the duties in all the roles that you have. You also pursue jnanam, but then it is more karma, less jnanam. Therefore, it takes a longer time, because I am using the karma for self-purification, for graduating to be the person for whom the jnanam speaks. And so therefore it cannot be accomplished by one and the same person, can it? Absolutely not. So therefore, ekam buddhim karma va idam eva arjunasya yogyam. So ekam vada tayoho, out of these say one thing, one kind of buddhi. Buddhi here means pursuit. One kind of pursuit, tell me. Karma va idam eva arjunasya yogyam. If I am only fit to do karma and not study, tell me this. But that's not what Bhagavan is saying. Bhagavan is not saying just do karma and don't study, but that is his confusion. That is his confusion. So tell me, so Arjunasya yogya buddhi ashakti avasthana rupam. Come right out in front and tell me, I am not qualified for this knowledge. I am only qualified to take up the cudgels, to take up the bow and the arrow and fight. Iti nishchitya, having ascertained my qualification, tell me this. Yena jnanena va karmana va anyatarena shreyah aham prapnuyam apnuyam. So choose one, choose knowledge or action, and say with certainty, Arjuna, this is what is appropriate to you. So that either by karma yoga or by jnana yoga, I can still strive to attain moksha. I can still strive to attain moksha. And then, what is that? So this is his contention, this is his confusion, because he sees the action and knowledge as two side-by-side choices. They are not side-by-side choices. It's like on the buffet table, two things are kept and you say, okay, I can only eat one because I have already picked out here, and so I can only have, now I'm on the dessert I'm having, and so I can have only one. Which one should I have? No, this is not that kind of a choice. And so what is the choice here? The choice is only after eating one, the other one will taste good. That is the choice. But Arjuna doesn't know that. Not knowing that, he says, just give me whatever you think is there, because both these are bhinna kartrikayoho. There are two types of yogas to be practiced by two differently qualified candidates, people. And so evam sati, if that is the case, that being the case, so you tell me, depending upon my mental mindset, buddhi shakti avastha anurupam. So, yogyata, in other words, in keeping with my spiritual growth, with my emotional growth, one alone of these two will be appropriate. So, tell me, what is this? May you please tell me, what is this? Yena jnanena va karmana va, by either of these, whether knowledge or action, I can attain Shreyas. See, karma yoga doesn't give Shreyas. Karma Yoga gives you eligibility for Jnanam, which alone gives Shreyas. This is where his confusion is. So now the commentary on the second mantra is over. Okay. But still, if you look at the Bhashya, there is some extra material. And the question is why? Why do we have some more extra material being given, even though the Bhashya is already, the verse is already over? That is because Adi Shankara is going to take a final swipe at these little bit of karma and little bit of jnanam types. Jnana karma samuchaya vada. He cannot handle this. And that those were his main adversaries, people who did not understand. And in fact, they were so much there that even Sureshwaracharya, who wrote Naishkarmya Siddhi, has to deal with them. In his Naishkarmya Siddhi also, he has to deal with these people. In fact, he goes the lengths to show us what kind of people these Jnana Samuchaya, Jnana Karma Samuchaya Vadins were. They were the sparring partners. So this is the, so the Sureshwara in the Naishkarmya Siddhi divides this Jnana Karma Samuchaya Vada into three varieties. Jnana Pradhana Samuchaya, those people who thought that this amalgam of knowledge and action which will together lead to moksha. So primarily knowledge, little bit of action, and then karma is of a supporting role, supporting actor, action is, and then jnanam is the hero, and then that is the first variety. The second variety is karma pradhana samuchaya, where karma is the hero, jnana is the supporting actor, and then there is one more, the third variety, samapradhana samuchaya, where both have equal force. And so at least one type of samuchaya must be there. Which one? There must be something there. Maybe there is some kind of a thing at all. And Adi Shankara, to shut these people down, says there is no samuchaya possible. Samuchaya means combination. This deadly and unholy combination between knowledge and action is not possible, because action does not lead to knowledge. Action by itself does not lead to knowledge. Action indirectly contributes you to qualify, to emotionally, to be ready for the knowledge, but it does not lead this directly. And so therefore what? So therefore, this is not something which is being intended here. He says, what does he say? He says this is not the intention. Why is this not the intention? This is not the intention because if both were leading to knowledge, Arjuna would never ask tad ekam vada nishchitya. He would not have asked. Ekam vada nishchitya, he would not have asked. And then, so that is the, we don't have to go into this because it is more of the same we have already seen. If the Lord was wanting to teach a combination, Arjuna would have accepted, okay, little bit of fight and little bit of Gita lesson. This is what he would have thought. But that's not what he thinks. And then the next paragraph, I'm just going to summarize. Nahi bhagavata uktam anyatarad eva jnanakarmanoho vakshyami evam ekam iti yat yena ubhaya prapti asambhavam atmanoho manyamanah ekameva prarthayet. It was never told by the Lord, I'll only teach you one yoga. In fact, he taught both in the second chapter. If he had said so like that, then he would have Arjuna would not have asked, out of the two teach me one, because the Lord would have taught only one, making this question moot. So he just takes a side swipe, a final side swipe, at least for this chapter, at the Jnana Karma Samuchaya Vadins before going to the next verse, the verse number 3. Prashna Anurupam Eva Prativachanam. He introduces this. So, Prashna Anurupam Prativachanam, reply. Vachanam, words, Prativachanam, reply. The reply of the Lord, which is going to come now, is Prashna Anurupam, means it is in keeping with the question, means it is directly answered. And what is the answer? Lokesmin dvividha nishtha pura prokta maya nagha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Asmin loke, in this world, dvividha nishtha, twofold is the committed lifestyle. The committed lifestyles are 2 in number. Pura means sargadau, he's going to say, like long time ago, at the beginning of the creation, prokta, by me, has been uttered. Maya pura prokta. He anagha means you who is pure. Pure of what? Free of papa, punya, free of guilt, hurt. Oh, so Arjuna had no papas and no guilt, no hurt? Of course he did. But by addressing him as Anagha, the one who is free of guilt and hurt, papa, punya, all these things, the Lord is making a point that is your nature, that is your swarupa. And so he is invoking that in Arjuna, which is free of all guilt, hurt, omissions, commissions, everything. You are Brahman, free of doership. And if there is no doership, there is no guilt, there is no hurt. Hurt and guilt are the byproducts, the side effects of doership. This is the thing, the side effects of doership. And so, asmin loke dvividha nishtha pura prokta. And what is that? Sankhyanam. For the Sankhyas, we have already seen who the Sankhyas were. Sannyasina. In the end of the second chapter, the word Sankhya has come. In the Bhashya, we have seen that. And so, Sankhyanam, Sannyasinam, for people who have dropped everything and taken to a life of knowledge, for them, the lifestyle called Jnana Yoga, the Nishtha called Jnana Yoga has been advised by me. But for the rest, Karma Yogis, Yoginam, for the yogis and for the people who are not ready for this Sankhya lifestyle, another lifestyle called Karma Yoga has been advocated by me. Devotion to karma, devotion to Ishvara, devotion to karma as Ishvara, devotion to the results of action, accepting the results of action. So it is a marga of action with devotion, keeping Ishvara in view and accepting whatever comes gladly. Bhashya, loke asmin Shastra Anusthana Adhikritanam Traivarnikanam Dvividha Dvikara Nishtha Sthitihi Anushtheya Tatparyam Pura Purvam Sargadau Prajaha Srishtva Tasam. Okay, let's stop here because it's getting to another topic there. Okay, so Asmin Loke, he does not give any bhashya for that because that is clear enough. So, Pura Prokta, it was told before. That was said, but to whom was it told? That is not said. So, Adi Shankara supplies in the bhashya to whom was it told? Adhikritana, for the people who had adhikara. For the people who had adhikara. Because people who did not have the adhikara to do this were not told. Only people who had adhikara to do this were told. Adhikara means people who were qualified for this alone were told. And who were the people qualified for this? The people who were qualified for this were the people who are within the Veda, not Veda Bhashyaha. Means who looked upon the Veda as the what is that called? As the with Shraddha. It was clearly enunciated for whom? For the sadhakas. What kind of sadhakas? Everybody has karma yoga, but then this particular kind of a thing is given to the one who has the adhikara. And who are these adhikara? So, who have Traivarnikana? Traivarnikana means the people in the three varnas. And who are the people in the three varnas? Who take the Veda seriously as a means of knowledge, who have Shraddha towards the Veda. Whereas the person who does not come under this is the one who rejects the Veda is not included in this. The one who rejects the Veda is not included. So Traivarnikanam, these three people, the threefold groups of people who take the Veda seriously, for them Dvividha Dvikara Nishtha Puramaya Prokta. So Shastra Anusthana Adhikritanam. So those who follow the sadhanas prescribed in the Shastra. And so if anybody does not follow the Shastra, for them this is a moot advice. This advice is of no use. Why? Because they are not accepting the Veda. If you don't accept the Veda, then why will the Lord give a Vedic lifestyle? The Vedic lifestyle is not given. Vedic lifestyle is only given for the people who follow the Veda. This is what the thing is. And so what is that? Dvividha. Dvividha means dviprakara, twofold. Nishtha, committed lifestyle. The committed lifestyle is of two kinds, and that was what was given. So Anushtheya Tatparyam, the commitment, discipline for this twofold lifestyle was that. And the discipline is what? Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga. And both of them don't lead to the same goal. We have to make this very, very clear. Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga do not lead to the same goal. Jnana Yoga leads to moksha, Jnanam leads to moksha, Karma Yoga makes you qualified for Jnanam. And then there are two lifestyles. So the lifestyles are there. One is a preparation for the knowledge, and then one is the knowledge itself. So therefore, this is the idea. So therefore, what? Na eva tasya kritena arthaha he's going to say later on in the 17th or 18th verse. So this karma yoga does not apply to someone who is a jnani wannabe or someone who has the desired qualifications such as viveka, vairagya, etc. Why? Because they don't gain anything from karma. They don't gain anything from karma. There is not any kind of a karma that is there, that is, that is needed. And so therefore there is no karma needed for emotional maturity, no karma that they desire to do because they don't need to gain anything other than jnanam. So such people are asked to apply for the Shastra immediately and not need to keep on doing karma. And so that's why there are two lifestyles. So purvam means what? Sargadau, before the sargadau, at the beginning of the creation. Prajaha srishtva, having created the all the beings. Tasam, having created all the beings and the conditions for their living. Along with that, abhyudaya nishreyasa prapti sadhanam vedartha sampradayam avishkurvata prokta maya sarvajnena ishvarena he apapa he anagha. Oh, the one who is free of papa. We saw this already. Pura maya prokta. Who is this maya? Not Mr. Krishna. Who is this maya? Lord Krishna. Sarvajna. Ishvarena. By Ishvara, by me. Who is Ishvara? Who is the all? None other than the all-knowing Ishvara. It was said. And what was said? The two things were given at the beginning of the creation. Two things were given. What was given? Abhyudaya nishreyasa prapti sadhanam. The means were given. The means were given, two kinds of means. Abhyudaya means prosperity. Abhyudaya phalam, prosperity. How to attain prosperity in the world, how to be successful, how to influence people and gain friends, how to be famous, all these things, how to be rich, how to have money, how to have what is that called? Aishwarya. Aishwarya means have a few people who listen to you. How to do that? That is all comes under Abhyudaya. The first three Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, come under Abhyudaya Phala. Abhyudaya Phala, whereas Nishreyasa Phala means moksha. So the sadhana, the means for attaining either prosperity or moksha were given by me. Vedartha Sampradayam Avishkurvata. So by me, Maya, the one who is the originator, Avishkurvata, the one who is the originator. Originator, yeah, the one who is the discoverer, the originator, the inventor of what? Vedartha Sampradaya, of the lineage of the Veda, of the lineage sampradaya. What is the sampradaya? The sampradaya of the householder and the sampradaya of the sannyasi. These sampradayas I myself have talked about. I have given all this in the beginning. I have revived the tradition of the Vedas and the meaning of the Vedas. So the meaning of the Veda is what? The first part is Karma Kanda, the second part is Jnana Kanda, and then the karma is for self-purification, and then one proceeds to gain the clarity and to gain the desire to study. That is what one is the preparation and one is the outcome of this preparation. This was already told by me. This is what Arjuna says. More we will see next week. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ. One announcement, I can't have the aparokshanubhuti tomorrow. What I'd like to do is have it Saturday morning. Okay, Saturday morning America time. We will have it to a make-up class for aparokshanubhuti. Please spread the word in your groups and mailing lists, etc. This is just for this week. Okay, because there is some 75th birthday celebration. For this I have to be at the puja. All the best. Om. So tomorrow's class will be postponed to Saturday. All the best. Same time. Same time. Yeah. Om.